Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name's Luke, and I have all the way from Colorado via the internet, Mario Texidor. Mario, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me, sir.
I appreciate you coming on the show and making the times work with the way the times are. You being out there in Colorado, I made that mistake. But thanks for coming on the show. You are going to be coming into Pennsylvania to fight Craig Perry at Brawl the Berg 13 247 Fighting Championships in Monroeville Convention Center. Very excited to have you come in. Got to ask you the obvious question. You're an amateur flying in from Colorado to take on an amateur fight. What makes you want to come all the way out from Colorado to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area to take a fight?
To be honest, I just had an amazing time my last fight. I loved everything about it. Hunter, the people who were there, they threw on a great show. Me and Ian, even though we fought each other, we had a great time afterwards. Because like we're athletes, we're martial artists. Even though we hurt each other, we could still have beers afterwards. So I had an amazing time, and I just wanted to duplicate that. And I know amateurs, you don't really get paid for anything, but right now it's about having fun, getting experience, and fighting as much as you can. And you guys offered up the opportunity, so.
Well, that's exactly what 247. You mentioned Hunter, Ryan Middleton, the owner, Jim Mooney, the matchmaker. I think that's exactly what 247 Fighting Championship wants, right? Is even though most amateurs are fighting kind of locally, you enjoyed coming in for Flood City Fight Night 2, which was actually farther away. That was in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Not that it makes a huge difference to you coming in from Colorado, but you mentioned taking on Ian Smith. You won by decision back in May. I think it shows your willingness to come in and fight, but also what 247 is willing to do to make fights happen. What do you want to see? How do you want to see your fight go to the next level? You dropped your amateur debut to a decision and then came in to Pennsylvania to take on Ian and got your first amateur win. So what do you want to kind of see grow in your MMA game when you take on Craig Perry?
To be honest with you, even like when I fought Ian and stuff, like even though I dominated every round, I'm very particular and like certain things, like mindset wise and different things. And I just felt like I could have ended it if I was more calm, if I controlled. So I just, with fight experience, just getting more fight experience so I can see that, so that I can execute those in those moments, if that makes sense, if that I understand.
That makes a lot of sense. It also shows, I think sometimes people when they watch MMA don't realize that even though, like you said, even though you won a good fight against Ian, you want to get better at executing the little things, the things that make a difference long term. MMA is not just a battle of inches, it's a battle of centimeters when it comes to submissions, when it comes to striking and all of that. Where are you training out of? How have things been training? I'm assuming you're at elevation, considering you're in Colorado. Oh, look at that. Yeah. You got any mountains we can look at out your window? Anything pretty? Let's see.
I don't think you can see it here. We got too many buildings at the gym, but it's all the way back west. They're high. They're really high.
Gotcha. Well, that sky is a bit bigger and more beautiful than we have in here. It's pretty impressive. So how's it been going training out there?
To be honest, first of all, to answer your first question, I train out of Iron Forge Martial Arts. My last fight, I like talked about like the different gyms I train out of. It's mostly out of Bendel Karate, but since I moved to the Springs, I committed full time to Iron Forge, and I've been training with them for like over a year. It's Kudo, Japanese Kudo, which is kind of like a sambo. We do headbutts, elbows, knees, judo, wrestling. That's why my grappling got so high level because we focus on all aspects. And now like this whole training camp, it was just focused on I spar with international Muay Thai champions all the time. I spar with high level strikers all the time. It was to like, because I'm a high level striker myself, but as you saw in my first fight, I didn't dictate the pace. I wasn't aggressive, so I allowed him to close distance. And even though a lot of the guys who watched the fight thought I won, and Jack Reese Broussard even said he thought I won because of the infighting, the knee clinches, the clinches to the knee, the damage that was knocking out his mouthpiece. I allowed the judges to rule in his favor because I wasn't the aggressive fighter. I didn't dictate the pace. I allowed it. So that's what basically our main camp was, to press forward. Like at the end of the day, it's about just leaving it, accepting what can happen, worst can happen, whatever. But I'm gonna fight my best fight no matter what. In my best fight, I'm a pressure fighter. So that's pretty much what we've been focusing on and stuff like that. And it's no not giving away the game plan. If you saw what I did my last fight, that's the same thing that I'm gonna try to do. If you can stop it, good kudos to you. Like, then we'll
That's
carry
what
on to the same thing.
that's really what makes MMA a sport, right? Is this is a sport. Like you said, you ended up chatting nicely with Ian, even though the sport involves
Yeah,
martial arts and hurting each other. These are not street fights. You want to see if your talent and skill and game plan works against somebody else. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, then you'll learn and get better for the next
yeah.
time. So pretty impressed by your attitude. And also, I was just interviewing somebody um, who's going to be fighting Brett Pastori, who just got a title as the #1 Pan Am champion for combat sambo. And you were talking about how the martial art you perform is similar to combat sambo. It's very interesting to see that mixed martial arts as a sport has only been around 25 years, but foundations have gone long before that. Combat sambo had sort of an MMA technique to it. What you were talking about in your martial arts is more of the mixed martial arts approach to doing
Yeah.
multiple things together. So I think it really does show that there's a lot of technical skill out there that is still kind of finding its way into MMA, which I think is really exciting and really fun. What do you want to do in the Pittsburgh area? Monroeville Convention Center is actually just outside of Pittsburgh. Did you have any plans to kind of get into Pittsburgh and enjoy? No, it's all fighting for you. It's just the
I'm
fight to get home.
I'm coming there to handle business.
I love it.
From my brother. And so to be honest, 100% honest with you guys, another reason, my brother, the bald-headed black dude you guys saw last time, he, like I said, he just got out of jail like a year ago. So it's more time to spend with him too. That's another reason why I fight on the East Coast, because of parole and stuff. He can't come out here. So it's easier to fight out there because his parole officer is okay with that. So it's okay. It's easier for me to, like, see him and things like that. So like it's just a great experience. I get to do something I love. I get to see my family, and it's like, and because I'm originally from New York, so it's
Yeah.
easier. So I'll probably just drive to the Bronx,
Wow.
spend time with family, and then just go home. But
Sure.
Pittsburgh, while I'm there, like a lot of what I after I weigh 45, I can't wait to eat. Like, I'm definitely gonna have fun with that regard because I heard you guys got good food. So
Well, I think that's really great. Like you were talking about, MMA is not only something you enjoy to do that's fun, but it's been giving you a way to reconnect with your brother and deal with the limitations that are obviously that he has to deal with, but that makes it more worthwhile. Not only it's worthwhile to come in for a fight, but it's also worthwhile. It's a family trip for you now. You get to come in, have the fight, and then see your family, which is great. So you mentioned that your brother was in your corner last time. Is that the game plan too, to have your brother be part of your
actually, it's
corner?
gonna be him because my friend Andrew, who cornered me my last fight, so we're training partners, me and Andrew Van Winkle. But Sensei JD, he can't make it out because he was in Brazil for the Kudo Pan Ams. So, and they come back now. But my next fight, no matter what, he said he's gonna be there. So my sensei will finally be for the next one. So what's it called? Andrew has a wedding in Ohio that Saturday, so he can't make it. So yeah.
Well,
So
you've got a lot of things, moving parts, but I can't wait to see you in action all the way from Colorado. I appreciate you taking time to come on the show and talk about what made 247 so special last time, what you want to do this time. Brawl at the Berg 13 is only a week away. Because your fan and supports are kind of long distance, I encourage them to check out the pay-per-view stream that will be at 247fighting.com, and obviously to use your name so you get credit for it. Mario Texidor, thanks so much for coming on the show. Best skills to you. Have a safe flight in. See you in a week.
I'll be stay blessed. Thank you.
You got it.